Good morning. I'm on my way to drop my baby off to the sitter, and then I'm on my way to work. Um, it is really nasty out here. It is really, really nasty out here. So I wanted to talk. They got this new thing, not even new thing. I don't know what's going. Okay, first of all, I don't know if they did it because of Black History Month or whatever, but I have to talk about it. Hey, sister, good morning. How are you doing in the Lord Jesus? I'm doing great. God is good. So I wanted to talk about this whole Nefertiti thing and the whole Egypt thing and the whole, I don't know what they were doing like far as Black History Month or whatever. First of all, I believe that it should not be Black history. It should be American history because Black people, African American people, you want to call them African American, but they're basically American people. I'm American. I'm an all American, been American. This is the only country I've ever known. None of my great grandparents that I've known, I've never known any one of them to come from Africa. However, I do have ancestors that did come from Africa. Matter of fact, a lot of us, our ancestors come from Africa, white, whatever you want to call it. Yeah. So let's talk about this whole Egypt thing. The thing about it, there's this huge cover up with Egypt, and that's been going on. But if we go back to if we read the Bible, the Lord said that He would dismember their noses, the statues, and all of this other stuff. It's in the Bible. But we know, I know that Napoleon with the Sphinx, it's true and it's documented that when they found out that these statues had Negroid features, meaning they had wide noses like this, they shot it down because they shot them off and they removed them because they could not believe that these people in Africa, in Egypt, ancient Egypt in Africa, were Black people. And it really surprised me how much of a cover-up it was. But then, like I said, the Bible, God already said what He was going to do to Egypt. And I'm not acting like these people were saints because they was, Pharaoh and them, they was evil. I wouldn't say they was cool. They made slavery look like it was on a whole nother level with them, with how they was rocking, But these people were very intelligent people. Around that time, remember when Jesus was born and Joseph and Mary fled and they went to Egypt? Egypt is all up in the Bible, but it just seems that a lot of people want to ignore. What you talking about? What you talking about, Symphony? Did you eat your food? You need some more? A lot of people want to ignore that. So let's talk about this whole I don't know if people understand, because you got a lot of people that are like, no, the Egyptians were this, no, the Egyptians were that. Here, and then you got a lot of those people that are trying to claim they were what they were. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't say they were good. They were evil, believed in false gods, but they were Black. And they were very intelligent, that they even showed you who they were. They painted pictures on the wall to show you we're Black. But there's been a team of people that have been going up in there, taking these artifacts and stuff and lightening up these pictures like as if we stupid, and trying to take old artifacts and trying to say that they painted themselves Black because of fertility in the land. Like the crazy guy, whatever his name is, his people came way after, but he just laid claim to Egypt. Like, he's just so obsessed by it that he doesn't even allow any other like archaeologists to go up in there and actually excavate. They make sure that they do not want people to know that they were Black. But I don't understand that, because back in the 90s, back in the 80s, back in the 60s, the 70s, the 80s and the 90s, they had no problem with telling you what the real origins were. But now it's just like they refuse to acknowledge that these people were black. I mean, they were in Africa. I mean, it's in Africa. And we're talking about ancient Africa, too. Come on now. And I'm seeing statues with afros. I'm seeing people that I'm like, man, that look like my folks right there. That's the thing that a lot of people are not understanding. A lot of people of color, black people, they can, and even white people, and even other people of color can tell you, yes, those are African people. I mean, I don't understand what the cover-up is. And so, remember so they did the uncovering on the Today Show a couple of days ago of the Nefertiti. They remade or whatever. And when they uncovered it, she did not look like an African woman. She looked like a Caucasian, a white lady with hazel eyes. Yeah, let me tell you something. When it comes to artifacts and stuff, they're going to cover up anything that has anything to do with the Bible. So Egypt was in the Bible. But remember that the Lord said that even with their noses, you know what I'm saying? Yes, we know, they covered it up because it was black noses, big wide noses. But the Bible also said that this was going to happen. When we talk about like the giants, then the Bible says there were giants in those days. And there's been a huge cover up with, they call them Nephilims or whatever like that. There's been a huge cover-up with that, because when you start discovering giants, then you realize that this Bible is real. This Bible is accurate. It's on point. And so, going back to the whole Egypt thing and the whole cover-up, to me, it's just ridiculous. It's ridiculous, but at the same time, it's prophesied, too. Wait a minute, where am I going? At the same time, that's what the Bible said was going to happen. It's just that when we get to the point where you're just blatantly, flat out trying to cover up something and trying to redo it, it's disgusting. Even with even the whole black and white issue, like, he died with me, his blood, it covers me, but there has been a huge cover-up with Israelites. Now Moses, from my understanding, he married an Ethiopian woman, but it's like these movies that they like to depict only one certain type of people, and that's just pure evil. But yeah, the whole thing about this Nefertiti thing, it's ridiculous. But that's been going on, though. It's been going on. I don't understand what it's been going on. It's stupid. The woman was black, But it's like, I don't know why. I have to say, Lord, I asked, I said, Lord, and it's true. When it comes to black people, it seems like they're the most hated race or the most looked down upon race. And I said, there got to be something very significant. God made us all in his image. But there got to be something very significant about this race of people that they're so looked upon. And it's not just like in the United States. Look how overcast it is. It's not just, man, it's foggy out here. Y'all look at this. Can't even see the daggone monument. Y'all see the monument? Yeah, so anywho, and then they started talking about the lady who worked for the NAACP. I don't know what and she's a white woman who passed as black. Everybody made a big do about it, but honestly, I I was like, hey, if that's what she may have some black up in her. I don't know. But you know how many black women passed to be white back in the day, and they just looked like they were white, you know, and so they just claimed, and it was a lot of there was one president. He looked like he was white, but he was black. The best jobs, you know what I mean? They and still to this day, a lot of people still do that, and it's unfortunate, but black people are looked down upon. I don't know what's up. It is something behind that. There's something very significant behind that. I mean, everybody doesn't have the view. Like some of y'all say, well, I never treated a black man. That's not true. I'm talking about in the general, in a whole, you know. It's like, and Lord, please protect me and Symphony while we are driving. I pray that everybody gets to their destination. People drive like NASCAR on this slippery road. I was going to do my folks' nails today, but y'all, I can't. I'm like, that's too much stuff to pack up. It's too much. I need to know. You gonna let me get over? Thank you. So when they had did that, the uncovering, and they showed that face, I was like, y'all play too much. Y'all play too much. Y'all play too much. And some people was like, can we have anything? First of all, those people were black people, but they were not freaking saints, man. They were not freaking good folks, man. Furrow and them, like these folks were so vain, it was ridiculous, you know. But they were black, like there's no doubt about it. Like, and if anyone disagrees, I don't know what y'all looking at, but there's a big difference between laying claim to something and you can clearly see. But you have a lot of, proof, DNA, all of that. They're trying to hide that, redo whatever. It's just like, y'all want it so bad. But those people too put a curse on their selves, and it was said that, you know, their noses would be removed. This is in the Bible. And we know that they removed them noses because them noses look too much like Pookie and the boys, you know. They look too much like my nose. I had to hurry up and chip them things off. But it's like, it's one of those things, like, y'all got that much hatred that these people, they painted themselves black. Some of them even like blacker than black, and y'all still like, they want black people. These people want black people. They painted themselves black for fertility in the land. Boy, get out my face. Get out my face. You're stupid. And I'm supposed to believe this? I mean, when you look at, if you are of African descent, and even if you're not, even if you're white or whatever, when you look at these statues and you look at, and matter of fact, some of these people today, the descendants of these people are still doing the same thing. They're still in Africa putting mud on them, tan. They're still laying the way that they used to lay. Like, I have no idea why anybody would lay with this thing holding your head and this narrow thing. I don't know how they would do it, but they still are doing that, and that's Egyptian style to this day. And these are black people that are doing that. So when you reenact and remake and say, first of all, I believe that Nefertiti was she wasn't just a woman of beauty, she was of power, she was of this. Boy, you wasn't there, so go somewhere. But you want to remake something and then start adding new features, hazel eyes and all types of, God, stop. Because when I look at these statues, when I look at what they have in Egypt before tearing them down and redoing whatever, when I look at them personally, I see black people. You know how you go into an area and you see some folks and be like, oh, this cool, it's a bunch of white people, it's a white girl right there, it's a white guy, you know, okay. And I know when I go in there, I'm like, oh, that's a black guy right there. That's, you know, we can tell what our race of people look like. Like, it's not an Einstein to say, oh, they weren't. No, I'm seeing afros, I'm seeing cornrows, I'm seeing same nose structure, I'm seeing African. So why am I believing that this is not this is in the middle of the daggone desert here, and I'm supposed to believe that these people were what? Anyway, so it's just stupid. Siffies, what do you think? I don't care. Tiffany says, so what? Yeah. You want some more? You ready to go see TV? Yeah, I'm tired. I hope I did this thing right. I like my earrings. I told my cousin I'm on my way to go see Elizabeth Arden. Oh, thank you, Jesus. I got my coffee right here. I got my selfies in the back, and she's ready to go, ready to do what she needs to do, because I love her. Yeah, but yeah, that was, honestly, it was a joke. Somebody was like, stop. It was a joke. You got to be a fool to believe anything that the news say these days, because they are some liars. That is not, you could not come on no daggone show and put something like that and think we supposed to be like, we supposed to be. And a lot of people that's over there trying to lay claim is Arabic. Man, y'all didn't come until later after over there. Like, you know, I don't know, y'all trying to rewrite history, erase history. I don't know what y'all trying to do. But y'all better know y'all history. Anybody, I mean, history is history. And it's a part of the world. When people try to rewrite and reenact and redo, that's dangerous. Y'all come to find out y'all freedom got rewrote, and then it's not in cursive anymore. They done typed it up. Yeah, but I think it just is, honestly, bye. I don't believe it. Won't believe it. You go through all of this stuff to try to cover it up. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. All right, let me get my BB in here. Hold on, y'all. To put my phone down because I had to go over here and drop Siffy tails off. Alright, now I'm back. Yeah, y'all, so that's what's going on. I think my makeup is a little bit too dark. They're green. And my hair is is already looking nicely frizzed. Blow the man down, oh, blow the man down. See, that's what happens when you look at kids' cartoons. Start singing the kids' song. Alright. Let me get out of here. Excuse me, y'all. I'm all eating it all up in y'all faces. I would offer y'all some. Alright. I'm claiming it in Jesus' name. Today is going to be an awesome day, a good day, a safe day. They're going to protect my baby while she's over there. Hello, New York. Hello, hello, hello. So I'm on my way, y'all. I got to see what's going on with my father. I think I'm going to have to call him and be like, Dad, what's going on? I've been telling my parents, like, let's get up for lunch. My mother's been busy as a busy bee. My dad, you know, I need to see what's going on with him. Make sure he's good. Make sure he's good. But yeah, I was talking about this whole Egypt thing. The unveiling of Nefertiti. That was wrong. That was so wrong. That was so wrong. But I don't know. It's something about it. Well, these people were vain people too. You know, they weren't good people. How do you know that? Well, then you know the whole fact that they had the Israelites enslaved and they had nothing but slaves building pyramids and stuff day and night, slaughtering people, children, because they saw that the Israelites was outnumbering them. These people weren't cool folks. But, I mean, that's just reveal who they were. I mean, they were of black descent. They were black people. They weren't even just like mixed or light skinned. These were black folks. But anyway, so yeah. So it amazes me where when I was talking about how the whole American history, I agree where I heard Morgan Freeman talking about it and saying that it should be acknowledged in the history books that black people were very much involved, just like natives were here before people started invading. But it shouldn't just be 1 month to say, let's acknowledge Martin Luther King and Harriet Tubman, the same old frontliners, when there was it's way more than that. I just feel like, especially with the whole race thing, that people put, like, is it because we just got our freedoms not too long ago? You know, like, I mean, in my lifetime, I was able to see the first black president. And it was a big deal because he was the first black president, although he was trifling. But it was a big deal. And my grandparents, when they look at stuff like that, they just thought, like, y'all, even when I go, what's that noise? Even when I go visit my grandmother, she still has Barack Obama's huge photo on her door. I'm like, Nana, when are you going to take that down? When are you going to take that down? But I guess because out of all her years, in her 70s, she's, you know, that's the first black president. And when you've come from a place where you weren't allowed to sit in the front of the bus, when you weren't allowed to go here, and when your people always said white folks do this and white folks do that, and you were mistreated a certain way on the job, or you were talked down to, you know, I guess that's when they feel like finally we can see, you know. But you know, racism is alive very much, you know. But you have a group of people now. You have a lot of people that are wise enough to know that we are all in the body of Christ, you know. But you would be a fool not to think that these things don't exist. But racism just doesn't exist just in white folks over black folks, because it's some, you have some black folks that think they're better than white folks, or they think they're better than Spanish people, and some Spanish people think they're better, and some Indian people. You know what I'm saying? It's just all of this like, can't we all just get along? But you know, it's this thing that it's so baffling. It's so when I saw the uncovering of that, you know, somebody was like, I knew they was gonna do that. It doesn't surprise me, because when they first did Nefertiti a couple of years ago, she was a not dark skinned, she was a black woman. And then when they did King Tut, he's a black boy. And then all of a sudden they redid them with lighter figures, like as long as you're light skinned, or as long as you are white. And this is even with Latino people, with Spanish people. I've even heard in them, they look down upon people that are dark skinned. And then you have a lot of people who are dark skinned, and they'll lay claim like, I'm not black, and I'm looking at them like, well, what are you? I'm not. I'm this. I'm Dominican. Like as if that black ain't beautiful. Like as if it's not gorgeous. In my family, we have many shades. In my family, there are many shades. We are dark skin, light skin, brown skin, white, Spanish. My great grandfather was white and from Germany. So, and that's just one of my great grandfathers. So we are many colors, you know. And so I don't know what's this thing about what's so threatening about black. Because black is gorgeous, black is pretty, you know, but it's something threatening about this. I don't know. You know how when you have so much, good morning, finally hung down, it's streaming. Oh, I don't know what, so it's something, there's something significant about, there's something very significant about dark skin. It's because I'm black. I'm saying it because hated race worldwide. This is not even just here. So there's something very significant about it. And we may not find out until later on. You know, with the Lord, it don't matter. Like one preacher said, Miles Monroe, I love the way he put it. Your skin color is just the dirt color. You just had light dirt and they had dark dirt. You know what I mean? And he made so when you die, it goes back to the dirt. Perfect example. And it just baffles me how much cover up it is when it comes to like when Napoleon and his boys were shooting the Spanx nose off because they was like, it looks too Negro. Shoot it off. You know, like you have that much hatred for another person's color that you have to cover it up, and even to this day. But remember, the Bible also says too that he will remove their noses. That's what the Bible says. So that's just prophecy coming into play. But there's this whole dark skin thing that I don't understand. Like, who said? I've seen who in the world said that dark skin black was ugly? Who in the heck told you that? who, or in order for you to be, or I don't know. I think when people get out of their minds that you're not better than nobody. You know, it's like I don't know what to call that. All I know is those people that's over there in Egypt digging up stuff. First of all, I thought that was a real big disrespect, because the mummy they had this huge hole on the side of her face, and I'm like, man, can somebody cover this up? Like, that's disrespectful. Don't dig me back up if I for display. I mean, the whole purpose of them being mummified and going into the ground is that they're laid, their bodies, or is supposed to be laid to rest to go back into the ground from which they came from. But y'all just like, this is special. We need to put this on display. And that huge hole in her face, I'm like, in her body's face, because she's not there. And then you want to take it. We'll reenact it, and then let's put it on display. We'll redo it and lighten up the color 100 times more and put it on display. And then they expect everyone else, especially people of color like myself, to be like, oh, that's what. No, nah, I ain't going for it. And then everyone else is like, I don't understand why it's so hard to believe. You know why? You may not understand it. See, like I said before, and this is not being racist. Black people, we recognize black people. You see what I'm saying? We recognize black people. Now, and some of us can recognize if they are American or African, because for some odd reason, to me, African people have very strong, they have very strong features. Very strong features. And so when you look at these statues and these artifacts, you looking at people that you see all the time around you that are black, and you just like, oh, they black. No, they're not. What do you mean? I mean, that looks like an afro to me. I mean, they painted themselves black, look like my skin color darker. So what do you, that look like somebody in my, like, what do you, like, I'm just trying. Now, if you go to Romans, like when they show like the Romans and how they used to look back in the day, you know, and I look at something like that, I'm like, oh, they look white. They're white. You know, just like that. And some people could be, you know, there's no argument there. You know what I'm saying? We see the statues, they look white. They're white. You won't argue with me about that, but you're going to argue with me about something that's in Africa. And I'm supposed to think you're right about this. That's just like that that lady, not lady, but it was a mummy that they found that looked frozen. That woman looked like Spanish, or looked like an Eskimo. She just looked like Spanish or something, like she Indian or something like that. You know what I'm saying? Just by what she had on, I could tell. So when I'm looking at some African folks, you know, big wide noses, their face structures, the makeup, even the wigs and stuff, I'm supposed to think that these are not African people because you want me to think that way? Come on, y'all. I don't know who they got over there in Egypt, but it's the same thing about the Bible artifacts. Like, it's a lot of things that are overseas that are covered up, that they do not want the main media or anyone to know the truth. So what they'll do is they'll take it and they'll hide it. If they don't, to try to destroy it, what they will try to do is debunk it. You know what I'm saying? So when you say that Egypt, ancient Egypt, not the new people that's there, but ancient Egypt were black people. They were black people that believed in these fake, stupid gods, and they were not cool. You thought that the slavery in America was something. No, these folks, they had slaves. And their slaves were dark-skinned people too. So, I mean, what's the cover up here? Why we gotta believe that, like, really? What's the cover up? What is the cover up, honey? But yeah. But yeah, so I mean, if y'all see that statue or whatever they got, and it looks so real life too. When you think about it, you're just like, how the heck did y'all do? But when y'all see it, you'll be like, which one of y'all chose the skin color? Which one? The statue? And these people. First of all, you gotta understand, these people were very intelligent, and when it came to the molding and doing things the way that they did, these people did it to a T. So for you to take, they gave you a Polaroid picture of what they look like. The Polaroid is on the wall. That's what they look like. That's what they wore. They wore the makeup. They showed you who they were. They talked about all of the mess that they was in. And then here you go coming back. They weren't black people. No, these people they were white people. But they painted themselves black because of the fertility in the land. Boy, if you don't get out of my face before I kick you in your face. Stupid so. You so obsessed and you're Arabic. That ain't have nothing to do with Egypt. Y'all came later on down the line. I mean, but if you don't know your history, you would allow people to say any and everything. We've been new. I know that most of the black folks that I knew, and even African people that are from Africa, they been knew about the kings and queens over there. I don't know what's all these new foreigners coming over and laying claim and trying to reinvent because they want so much to be. First of all, them people are dead, and I don't even know if they in hell or not. But you know, remember Pharaoh and his army died because he didn't want to let the Israelites go. Okay, they enslaved everybody, and they wasn't giving away any freedom papers. So I'm not gonna sit up here and be like, these people were awesome, and our goddesses and our queen. I don't know why people be doing all that. I'm not giving them all of that. They were who they were. They were black, evil ass. Excuse me, y'all. They were. Excuse me, y'all. Some of them was cool, you know. Some of them was cool, just like in Joseph Day, you know, when he had to translate the king's dream, you know. And he looked out for Daniel, you know, just like Moses. Moses was supposed to be slaughtered, but his mother put him in a bassinet and sent him down the river. And one of the Egyptians, the daughter, she laid claim to Moses, and she named him Moses. Did she name him Moses? Well, she named him. And, you know, so some of them was cool, you know, but not all of them. So Nefertiti, now this guy who sits up here and unrevealed, I don't want to say she was just beautiful. She was this, she was that, as if you lived 2,000 years ago to see how she was. You don't know she was nasty, trifling, eating babies. You don't know what she was doing. But what we do know, she was black. The art, if you look at the little statue with the crown, look black to me. And they used that type of pigment to paint them. These people were not dumb. They painted themselves. They let you know who they were. They let you know, don't confuse us. But if y'all want to believe that, then hey, I don't care. But Egypt is very intriguing. It's one of those places that I would like to go see. You know, when me and my ex-husband went to London, we went to the Cairo Museum, and we saw all of the Egyptian autocraft. Matter of fact, I still got some photos. You know, these big old, like, statues and stuff they took from Egypt, and they got them in the museums over here, you know. And then you had the new Egyptians. These just belong to us. No, it didn't really, because those people, they're long dead and they're gone. Y'all came later, and y'all trying to lay claim to history that don't belong to you. You know what I'm saying? That's like saying sand belongs. That's just like these farmers trying to say seed belongs to us. You didn't create the seed, but you want to lay claim on it. Still hungry. Wait a minute, it's almost time for me to go to work. I'm about to think, oh, I got enough time. No, Mona, you don't. I'm still hungry. Y'all, I'm so tired. I'm so tired. I am. I got these huge stockings on, y'all. They're like these grandma stockings. Like they're like the knee stockings. I gotta get rubber bands to hold them up, because ain't nothing like walking and that huge stocking just drips down on your ankle, like huge, and you're just like, oh, this is so embarrassing. I hope no one's looking. But I gotta remember, you got rubber bands on, that can cut your circulation off. Get home wondering why your legs, you can't feel your legs. Wondering what's going on. I told my friend I was going to do nails. I'm not doing nails today. I can't. I'm too tired. Let me drink my coffee. This is the best. Good morning. Good morning. Y'all, this is the best coffee. This is the best. Let me tell you what I put up in here. I got the French vanilla going on. I got the French vanilla creamer going on. I got me a little bit of sugar, honey. And I also put some whipped cream in there and made my own personal Starbucks. Thank you very much for letting me out. I don't know what was going on with my car. Somebody asked me, was he black or biracial? But Barack Obama is black. Okay, y'all gotta understand this. Somebody asked me, was Barack Obama black or biracial? Barack Obama is black. My daughter is black. Her father is white and her mother is black. But this is the thing. If we're going to start saying, no, they're biracial, then just about every black American person that you see is biracial. Because a lot of the slaves were being raped by the slave masters and having babies. And back in that day, it was called the one drop rule. And if you were light skinned, they called you mulatto. I have great grandmothers that were called mulatto. Now, if that was the case, then we could call them biracial, which means I would be biracial too, which means you would be biracial too. So no, it was black. When my two daughters passed away on their birth certificates, we had to choose a race, and I said biracial. They were white and black. No, you had to choose one. You're black. Barack Obama, if somebody pulled him over, you know, just like they pull over a lot of folks, black folks, but somebody pulled him over, put him up in the lineup, they wouldn't say, oh, he's biracial. You look at him and say he's black. So he's black. You know, I don't know who makes up these things. My daughter, when you look at her, you could tell that she's mixed. Or some people may think that she's white, you know. But I had a light skin, like my brother. I showed y'all a picture of him. Where's that picture of Solomon? Where's that picture of my brother Solomon? Where did I put that picture at? I must have put it away. But yeah, Barack Obama is black. I don't know where all that came from. Isn't he biracial? No, he's black. His mother's white and his father's black. He's black. He's black. Well, his mother's white. Yes, his mother's white. And his father's black, so he's black. Well, doesn't that make you biracial? Then if that's the case, then we need to redefine all of these African American people. Yes, he's black, you know, because back in the day, you know, like for instance, when you see my father, he looks very, very light skinned. We got white people in our family. We got white people. When Harmony and Melody passed away and I had to do their going over their death certificate, I put on there biracial. No, you had to choose one, and I got so pissed. I was just like, fine, just say they're black. Because that's how the rule went. It was if you had one drop of blackness in you, you were black. Now you had a lot of women who had children who could pass off, my kids are black and white. Yeah, but in reality, in America, they're just black. So, I mean, you could say they're black and white because my daughter, her father is white and I am black. So, yes, that would make her biracial. But on her, what's the name? It's only one to choose from unless they redid it. And the thing about it is that your case is not better than what happened 20, 30, 100 years ago. Because if we start changing it right now, then we need to go back 60, 80, 100 years ago when our great-grandmothers were called mulattoes. So where do you think mulatto came from? It didn't just come from because you were light-skinned. These people were mixed biracial people. So when people start saying, well, no, that's not, oh, we want to change some things now, then we need to go back into the history books and start changing that then. You know, so my daughter knows that her dad, when she gets older, she'll know that her father's white and that her mother is black. You know, but on her thing, I don't know if, I'm looking at her, she's black. Not saying that, if I wanted to, I could put down she's white. I could, because her dad's white, You could do that, You have some black folks, like the lady, the couple that was in Africa, two white couple, they had a baby, and the baby came out black. And they fought in court to make sure don't put black down, put white down, but you can see clear as day that baby black. And her brothers, they looked white, but then in a way they looked like they were like a mix, like they were you could tell they had black in them, but they came from the same white couple that refused for them to be, like I said, there's always an issue where it's like I don't know, like I said, my daughter, when you look at her, I forget sometimes that she is that she is a biracial baby. And sometimes I look and I see that she's very light skinned. Oh, on my application, it does not have biracial on it. It's not going to have biracial on it. It's only two things to choose from. It's black or white. And some people want to say, well, fine, I'll just put white. I could put that for, I'm not sure what I put down for Symphony, but I know for Harmony and Melody, I put down on their death certificates that they were both black, So if we want to talk about Barack Obama is black. Some people want to lay claim that he's black. He's black. You wouldn't have known that this man freaking surprising. My grandfather is very dark skinned. Okay, he's a dark skinned man. His grandmother is white and snow white. That my grandmother showed me a picture, and I'm like, how could he be? I wouldn't say my grandfather's a racist. He's been treated in such a way. When it comes to white folks, he's just like, but his great grandmother is white. Now I remember my grandfather. He looked very light skinned. He married a dark skinned woman, which was my father's grandfather. But his great grandmother is white. and shit the whole hair with the bun out. You know, for somebody who I thought was racist, I'm like, you did when my husband was in that day. I would never on that. They don't on why he. You can't on something writing you. But he is trying to start changing the name of African American to just American. You know, that's what you people allow men to say want to be women and women to say women, but you don't allow regular American people to just say I want to put down American. All I do, you still trying to vibe all of this stuff. I just want to put down that I'm American. No, my heritage, because I got white in me, white in me, and I have native in me definitely. You know. I got all types of stuff, but one thing I got is I'm covered. I'm covered with the blood of Jesus. So that debunks the racist. No. So no, you can say that Barack Obama, you can say, oh, his mother was, how many people mothers was white and how many people mother or fathers was white. You ever looked at Alex Queen, his grandmother? Her father was white and he owned slaves. Y'all know that's with American, with African. It's never you think that African American stands for people from Africa. They're an American. That's stupid. I do see people that come from Africa and they got citizenship and became American as African American. But my people that have been here for centuries and eat from this land, no, I don't know why. At one point I used to be called Negroes, and then they changed it to African American. And when you read, they need to change that. But I got flaws. Like I'm seeing flaws. But yeah, I need to put rubber bands. I need to put some rubber bands. I got rubber bands. You know, people, because it was biracial, that's made him who he is now. The black man. He got there. He got it twice. Yes, you know, I said he's the president of the United America. Well, have a great day. Work on you too. Thank you. I say that he was the black president. And if you want to biracial and about 280 years old, people call mulattoes, and they didn't care if you had a white daddy, because it was very common to have a white father who didn't care too sentimental about you and still what you all. And I had running around the day going, I was uncommon. There was nothing special about it. There was nothing special about it. And to this day, I mean, the whole name just needs to go. Just, are you American, female, or male sex? Anyway, y'all, let me go.